Hey everybody, Vibes of a Wildlife here. Welcome to another video where we dive into the heart, humor, and unexpected life lessons from the animal kingdom. Today we're diving headfirst into the wacky world of those bushy-tailed bandits, squirrels. Let's be honest, they're adorable, right? Those big eyes, the twitchy noses, the way they bury nuts and then forget where they put them. Classic. But, and this is a big but, sometimes those cute little critters can be a real pain in the, well, you know. So, get ready to laugh, because we're about to uncover 10 reasons why some people just can't stand squirrels. Oh, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Picture this: a perfect sunny afternoon, a checkered blanket spread out under a big oak tree, a basket overflowing with delicious goodies. You've got sandwiches, chips, potato salad, maybe even a thermos full of iced tea. You take a bite of your sandwich and bam! Out of nowhere, a flash of fur and a blur of movement. That's right, a squirrel, bold as brass, is making off with your lunch. And these aren't your average petty thieves. These squirrels are professionals. They'll snatch a bag of chips right out from under your nose, scale a tree faster than you can say acorn, and then taunt you from the branches with a mouthful of your potato salad. I swear, some of these squirrels must have gone to high school. They've got the moves, the moxie, and the appetite to put any seasoned criminal to shame. So, the next time you're planning a picnic, remember to pack an extra sandwich for the furry little gangster in the bushes. You know those peaceful oases where people go to relax and reconnect with nature? Well, not if a squirrel has anything to say about it. These little guys can turn a perfectly manicured garden into a disaster zone faster than you can say petunia. They'll dig up your prize-winning tulips thinking they've struck gold, only to leave the bulbs scattered across the lawn. They'll nibble on your tomatoes, taking just one bite out of each one, like the world's pickiest food critic. And don't even get me started on bird feeders. They see those things as their own personal all-you-can-eat buffets. They'll hang upside down, do backflips, and even perform death-defying leaps, all for the chance to snag a few sunflower seeds. So, to all you gardeners out there, I salute you. You're fighting the good fight against a relentless furry-tailed foe. Okay, so we've covered squirrels stealing food and wreaking havoc in gardens, but what happens when these little daredevils decide to take their act indoors? Let me tell you, it's not pretty. Imagine this: you're relaxing at home, maybe reading a book or watching TV, when suddenly you hear a strange noise. A thump, a crash, a flurry of tiny feet. You investigate, and to your horror, you find a squirrel has invaded your sanctuary. This isn't your friendly neighbor stopping by to borrow a cup of sugar. This is a wild animal, high on adrenaline and probably hopped up on caffeine from too many acorns. It's running around your living room, bouncing off the walls, knocking over lamps, and generally creating chaos wherever it goes. You try to catch it, but it's too quick, too agile, too darn cute to be mad at for too long. Finally, after what feels like an eternity, you manage to wrangle the little guy into a box and release him back into the wild. But not before he's left a trail of destruction in his wake. Parks are supposed to be places of peace and tranquility, right? You know, where you can go for a leisurely stroll, enjoy a good book on a park bench, maybe feed the birds. Well, that's all well and good unless a squirrel decides you're its new best friend. They'll walk right up to you, begging for handouts with those big pleading eyes. And if you dare to refuse, well, let's just say they can get a little pushy. They'll climb up your leg, tug at your shoelaces, even try to steal the crumbs right out of your hand. And heaven forbid you have a bag of peanuts. Those little guys can sniff out a peanut from a mile away, and once they've got their sights set on your snack, there's no stopping them. We all need a little peace and quiet sometimes, right? A chance to escape the hustle and bustle of everyday life and just be. Maybe you find your zen through yoga, meditation, or simply enjoying a quiet cup of coffee in the backyard. Whichever method you use, there's one surefire way to ruin the mood: a squirrel on a mission. As you settle into the perfect meditative state, breathing slow, mind clear, feeling one with nature, a squirrel decides it's time for some chaos. From the faint rustling in the bushes you try to ignore, to the plopping sound of falling acorns, the squirrels are testing your peace and patience. It's like they can smell your inner peace and they're determined to destroy it. Not to mention that it's impossible to ohm when the squirrels sound like they're sharing a heated debate about acorn economics or trash talking the neighbor's cat. Just like that, your moment of zen is gone, replaced by the sounds of tiny claws scratching and the unsettling feeling that you're being judged by a furry little voyeur. Squirrels, with their seemingly innocent demeanor, can startle you when you least expect it. Squirrels may be small, but they can be surprisingly stealthy. One minute they're nowhere to be seen, and the next, bam, they're right there in your face, giving you the fright of your life. And speaking of being in your face, what's even more unnerving is how fearless squirrels can be when it comes to invading your personal space. They might stare you down with their twitching noses and beady eyes, showing no signs of retreat, making you feel like you're the one encroaching on their territory. Yikes. Need more examples? Maybe you're walking through the park, lost in thought, when suddenly a squirrel darts out from behind a tree, causing you to jump back in terror. Or perhaps you're reaching into your mailbox, only to have a furry little hand brush against your arm, sending you screaming in the other direction. And let's not forget about those times when you're trying to enjoy a quiet evening at home, only to have a squirrel decide to play acrobat on your roof. The sound of those tiny claws scrabbling on the shingles is enough to make even the bravest soul jump a mile. The combination of their unpredictable behavior, agility, and boldness can turn an otherwise peaceful encounter into a startling moment that leaves you looking over your shoulder. Dogs and squirrels, cats and squirrels. It is a tale as old as time, a classic comedy duo. Or is it? While we humans might find it amusing to watch our furry companions chase these bushy-tailed critters, the reality for our pets is a little less hilarious. The moment the squirrel appears, the dog transforms into a tornado of excitement, barking and sprinting with no plan, no stealth, just raw determination. Dogs, with their boundless energy and insatiable drive, see a squirrel as the ultimate prize, a four-legged furry lottery ticket. They'll chase those little guys up trees, through bushes, even into oncoming traffic, much to the dismay of their owners. On the other hand, when cats encounter squirrels, it's like watching a clash of two cunning masterminds. They'll stalk a squirrel with the patience of a seasoned hunter, their eyes laser-focused on their prey. Meanwhile, the squirrel is on a tree branch, seemingly oblivious, but really it's just biding its time, waiting for the most dramatic moment to make a move. And while a cat catching a squirrel might seem like a rare event, let me tell you, it happens. And when it does, it's usually not pretty for the squirrel. Okay, maybe that's not a laughing matter. We've all had those moments behind the wheel when we've had to slam on the brakes to avoid hitting a squirrel darting across the road. One moment they're calmly nibbling on an acorn, and then the next, they're making a split-second decision to launch themselves into oncoming traffic like it's a scene for a high-stakes action movie. Much to your unpleasant surprise, they will dart into your lane, freeze, and stare you down as if deciding whether to roll the dice on its next move. Will it sprint left, right, or do that zigzag dance of confusion? Either way, you're at the mercy of a creature with zero concept of traffic laws. If they had driver's licenses, they'd definitely rack up enough speeding tickets to fund a small town. You'd think with all that agility they'd have mastered a simple crossing, but no, they insist on playing chicken with every car that passes, testing their nerves and ours. Squirrels might seem cute and cuddly when they're raiding your bird feeder or stealing your picnic lunch, but let me tell you, these little guys can cause some serious chaos. Don't let their cute bushy tails fool you. They are secretly plotting world domination, starting with your backyard. Behind those beady eyes is the mind of a criminal mastermind, ready to outwit every anti-squirrel device you've ever bought from the hardware store. Oh, and while you're at the hardware store, make sure you pick up some supplies. These little critters will chew through anything, wood, plastic, even metal, just to get to their snack of choice. But their crimes don't stop at snack theft. Oh no, squirrels have expanded their reign of terror to electrical grids. Shocked yet? Forget hackers or spies, these furry fiends are public enemy number one. launching a covert operation to bring society to its knees, one blown transformer at a time. Yes, they will chew on power lines like it's their new hobby. And while we're sitting in the dark, they're up in the trees laughing at us. We might like to think we're the smartest creatures on the planet, but when it comes to squirrels, well, let's just say they give us a run for our money. These little guys are masters of their domain, and they always seem to be one step ahead of us. We try to outsmart them by squirrel-proofing our bird feeders, but they find a way in. We set up traps to catch them in the act, but they manage to snag the bait without setting off the trap. It's like they know what we're thinking, and they're determined to prove us wrong. And you know what? I gotta hand it to them. They're persistent, they're resourceful, and they're darn funny to watch. So, the next time you find yourself outsmarted by a squirrel, don't get mad. Just tip your hat to this furry little genius and admit defeat. So, there you have it, folks. 10 reasons why some people just can't stand squirrels. But hey, even though they can be a nuisance, you gotta admit, they add a little bit of spice to our lives. Now, I know you've got some hilarious squirrel stories of your own. Head down to the comments and let us know what those furry little bandits have gotten up to in your neck of the woods. And hey, while you're at it, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss out on more funny animal antics. Until next time, keep on squirreling. See you soon.